welcome to a new video. So today, I wanted to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 8, and I wanted to discuss whether I think that Madison is or isn't bit. So, I want to talk about the Season 8 preview, and discuss what we saw, and then I want to go and do reasons why, and reasons why not I think Madison's bit. So, the Season 8 preview starts off, and this woman, who we don't know, refers to Madison as, I think it's Lara, but there's definitely an L. It sounded a bit like La, but she says it twice, and I think it is Lara. And we find out that Madison's locked in some kind of basement. It seems like deep below. You know, they refer to bringing Madison down here, or bringing loaded guns down here. She refers to it being that time of the week again, meaning that this is a weekly thing that happens, and mentions whether Madison will play nice, assuming that she's very violent about what's going on. Apparently Madison's always skipping meals, and they can find ways to make her eat. Then the woman proceeds to collect blood from Madison's arm, in which then she starts to bleed a little bit. Madison then gets angry and tries to steal the gun and shoot herself, before we find out, as I said, that they don't bring loaded guns down here, wherever that is. Before then Madison gets tranquilized, and we find out that this is something to do with Padre, because the woman mentions Padre. Alright, so now I'm going to go over the reasons why I think that Madison is bit. So I didn't intentionally think that she was bit, but my opinions have changed, and I feel like that's the reason why, because if I didn't originally think it, and now I do, I think that there is enough evidence and a feeling around the situation that maybe she is. That's probably the weakest argument I have, but I definitely didn't originally think that she was. But the first reason I would say is it looks interesting. I went online and looked at pictures, and I found one of like Kyle when he was bit, and it definitely looked pretty similar. Even like the distance and the distance between the teeth and that. So I do believe that it does look like a walker bite, and I'm not against it. I'm not against the way it looks from being a walking bite. So in terms of that, yeah, it absolutely could have been a walker bite in Madison, and we can literally see it. Another reason is that people believe it. Other YouTubers that are doing similar things, that are giving news updates, are talking about this, definitely speculate that it is a bite. And I guess it links to the first idea that people believe it. And in terms of, I now am starting to believe it, you know, it definitely feels like it is real, and she is actually bit. Probably one of the biggest pieces of evidence is that I'm gonna counteract on the other side is Alicia, and Alicia might not be dead. We never saw her die at the end of season 7. It was extremely weird what we saw, and you know, Amina was the lowest rated episode in season 7. It got 3 point something stars, I think. I want to say 3.1, but that seems very low. But I know it definitely was not a liked episode. I thought season 7 was pretty entertaining, and when I saw that episode, it definitely was a bit of a hit. Like, okay, this is actually a bit boring, you know, because The Walking Dead can have stupid decisions, but it can be a bit entertaining. But that episode was definitely just crazy. But I do believe that Alicia might not be dead. I don't want to talk about the counteraction, but you know, she got bit. Her body was fighting infection. You know, maybe she was immune, and she was too late, but it didn't matter because her body would have fought it. This little girl that didn't have her arm cut off and had the bite saw that it healed, and obviously the episode made it think that it was linked to kind of Alicia getting a sense of freedom over the past. But you know, whether it was that, or whether it was just over time and Alicia needed to have a good mental strength, or needed to just be physically strong to be able to fight off the infection, I don't know. But there is definitely evidence that it is a whole Clark thing, which then going on to this is kind of a showrunner, like a TV network, whatever producer reason, is that the Clark family, it'd be very interesting because there's two reasons. First of all, it could get a lot of views, you know, like if even people that just like The Walking Dead and don't like Fear, and people that maybe like The Walking Dead and World Beyond, which I don't know why you would, or maybe just Tales, but whatever reason they might miss Fear, or they might not be that interested in Fear. If we were to see the first ever part of Immunity on Fear the Walking Dead, that would get a load of views, and so it's very possible that that's what Andrew and Chamberlain are doing, and they're writing in this cure, or this kind of immunity, which could lead on to so many other things, which could lead off to a spin-off for the Clark family, Madison and Alicia, or just spin-offs with Madison, or even just spin-offs for Fear. This could have all be linked, and of course it definitely links to Padre, so that could hold its own idea for a spin-off. We don't know Alicia if we don't know if Alicia's dead or alive yet. I'm praying that she's alive. We need to see a Madison Alicia reunion, but I think there are some decent reasons on why it could definitely be a walkabout. I also should mention that one more really important reason that I thought was kind of obvious, but I thought I should mention it because I completely forgot about it, is the whole reason that Madison is being kept down in Padre in the first place is maybe because there's a decent enough reason, and taking blood from someone and locking them in a basement, with a company like Padre or possibly connected to the CRM, a very important organisation, could easily lead to Madison being bitten and being able to survive because they want to do tests on her and figure out what's going on. I definitely want to point out that my intentions of the video are kind of a bit mixed, so I might make it clear now. Near the end of the video, I may make it clear, but I'm kind of on whether Madison is bit and immune, because there's a different thing whether Madison's bit and whether she's immune. I mean, chances are if she's bit, she's going to be immune based off what we see and how she's acting and how long this has been going on for. She would have died by this point. Though I should probably make it clear that it is whether she's bit and immune. So when I talk about it looks like a bite, that's true, it looks like a bite. And then when I talk about Alicia, I'm kind of talking about why the Clark family itself is immune. And why Madison would be immune. So yeah, that's kind of what, if it seems like I'm getting a bit confused, but I definitely am on about whether Madison is bit and immune. Personally, I feel there are less reasons for why Madison isn't bit, or isn't immune. I was trying to think of reasons, and it's kind of hard. I can't really think off by the top of my head, so I might be missing some things. But a couple of ones I can definitely think about is that in terms of it isn't a bite, and Alicia, if I'm on about the Clark family being immune, Alicia was either dies, and so she was bit, she wasn't immune, and she dies, or Alicia cut her arm off so close to the point of being dead, but not like before she died. Therefore, her body had a lot more infection to fight than usual other people when they cut it off. And so that would mean that Alicia's not immune, chances are the Clark family's not immune, and Madison got these marks for another reason. Which is very interesting to think that this whole section is what she's not bit. So very interesting to see where she got the marks from, considering she isn't bit. And then another part of Madison, kind of a factor for Madison not being immune, is that she cauterized her arm in another way, and the CRM or Padre are impressed and confused, and so they want to run tests on her, because Madison was bit, but she was able to get rid of the infection in another way. It's very interesting if that's a new thing, because then that could be a whole cure, because there are places, obviously, like Carl in Season 8 of The Walking Dead, where he gets bit in the stomach, where you can't cut that off or cut the bite off. But if there's a way to cauterize it and take the infection out before it's too late, it could be a new, somewhat permanent cure. I mean, chances are there's definitely something going on with Madison, but she might not be bit. And I think the final reason that I can think of at the top of my head is that, is it possibly too far-fetched? This is probably the weakest reason for why I oppose why I oppose Madison being bitten immune, because we all know the writers of Fear the Walking Dead. Season 5 has so many moments that are like, holy, just whatever. Really? And so I wouldn't be surprised. No one's surprised, if Madison was bit. It's not too far to think that. That's probably one of the more modest things that the later writers, or the reboot era of Fear has done. But Yeah, that's all I can think about. That's kind of all the ideas I'm coming out with. I'm kind of just writing down some ideas and putting things together. Um, this video was a bit unprepared, but I just wanted to really talk about this and speculate because I'm really excited for season 8, and I've been thinking about doing this video. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. In a bit.